Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where last time I headed to this Ordakai camp by going along the west side of a dried up riverbed, and it wound up taking me there eventually. Did have to fight through the entire camp and then cross the bridge and all that stuff. And it looks like that the easiest way to get there is actually to, instead of going along the west side, is to go on the east side of it, not just a little bit east. Instead, you need to go to the place just north of, you start just north of the town there. Here we go. That's smack in the middle of the area. And if you do that, you will actually wind up reaching the camp in the most expedient way possible. Now, I'm assuming here that the sword that I'm looking for is within this area here. It's not necessarily the case. Where am I at right now? I mean, this counts as the camp because I just got credit for those kills. Well, the first one I attacked it didn't because it was just before I entered the camp. Hey. It is rude to knock people out when they're standing on caltrops. Did you know that? Yes, I know I just made that up, but did you know it? Good grief. Now, what are we going to do? I need to find the best way. Oh, here we go. To get that sword I need. Ah! It looks like we are in a nice place here. Look, that looks like a fancy blade. Of course there is a Dolo there, because who else will be having a fancy blade around here but a Dolo? I guess with that cat there, I should have expected there to have been someone else next to him. And another on top of that. Oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have waken up the cat. Maybe I should have let it. This is not good. Oh, no wonder there's a fifth one in there. No wonder that was going really nastily. Alright, I was wondering who the archer was. Of course, the person who wasn't standing next to me in the battle. Alright, so, fancy blades protected by an entire squad of enemies. I guess I should have figured that. Get the fancy blade and get out of here. There you go. One fancy blade. What?
What is it? What have you done?
I show the fancy blade to the Vordak, and he looks at me in amazement. You dared trespass near enough to Damodor to retrieve this blade? That displays true courage, stranger. Getting to Damodor wasn't the problem. The problem was fighting through those Orakai. Alright. Well, what do you have to say now? Emotion wars upon his face as he wrestles with his fear. Well? It was a few nights ago. Under cover of the darkness, I crept near the camp of the Ordakai soldiers. I thought I might be able to steal some of the unattended swords or other treasures. The Ordakai plunder on the Ridge of Plenty is for its wealth, and have always done so. How have they that right, but I do not know. I was about to slip into the camp when something made me pause. Believe me when I tell you that I know this for certain. Had I not stayed my feet, I would not be alive today. For as I hesitated, a group of figures emerged from the cleft of the Damodor and passed by the light of a fire. From their attire I knew four of them to be nobles of Orach, but their manner was striking. Had they not been so richly dressed, I might have thought them servants. They cringed and capered before the two most severe creatures that I had ever seen. They were tall and gaunt, in appearance like the Kenta elves you sometimes see throughout the Muir. But where these folks possessed a distant, preoccupied air from their centuries, I felt a sensation of intense hatred. A man and a woman they seemed in appearance, but the feeling of hatred radiating from them struck me as being quite otherworldly. They were flanked on two sides by great orcs larger than any I had seen before. My blood ran cold, and my breath stopped as they drew near to my hiding place. The clowning Orcakai nobility guided their companions past the fires and into the darkness of the enveloping night, and as they faded from my view, but not my memory, never my memory, I heard them speak the name Emax Dul. That is where the terrible creatures must be now, either the guests or the masters of Ordach. Emax Dul. Well, I have a feeling you're not going to be happy about that.
It is clear to me from Ashuk's account that the large orcs he saw from afar were Rutugi.
Yeah, they must serve the Tharduth of Dimmador, even as those that slew my brother serve the Tharduth of Utagbur. In Barahud's memory will I continue to stand beside you, Pine Leaf. Though Tugi may not fear a Kenta elf much such as Ulishar, but it may be that they should. Alright, well, what do you say about this, Glorfindel?
I believe what Ashuk has told to us.
But we know more about the Tarduth than Otush does, through no fault of his own. His fear of them is neither misplaced nor unfounded. Nobles of Ordach are not accustomed to subservience. For them to behave so in the presence of the Tharduth indicates to me that they have some knowledge of their powers or abilities. The Orakai are right to fear them. Perhaps they believe such demonstrations will keep the creatures they discovered at Dimmador under control. On that, they must be wrong. The Tharduth intend to manipulate the Orakai and seize control of their empire. Wonderful! Each of these remain our foes. We will continue to oppose them even as they prey upon each other. But Arshuk's tale has told me something else of use, Pine Leaf. The madness that afflicted the others who stayed near Damador did not affect Arshuk. The Tarduth must be aware of an individual in order to invade his mind. This may be useful to us. All right? Well, that takes care of Glorfindel's little bit. So I think we have one more quest to do here, or two more. Okay. Work with Shehzam to complete Emissaries of the Jiret Memesh. Right? That's meet with Shazami and Kinnikal at the crossroads. And also meet with Rashadi on the road to Lacanir in Ansharu. It appears I found the crossroad in question. Khanag Volar. Shazamnan raises a hand in greetings.
Before we make our way to Jiret Menesh, we should speak with this man, Dejimul.
Jiret Menesh, the settlement of the Termnir in Ansharu, is to the north. But before we make our way there, we should speak with this man, Dejamu. He is a merchant, and he says that the Temenir may not welcome us, despite our authority to speak on behalf of Sharamizadi. Oh, let's see what. All right, talk to Dijamu. This Dijamu? No, that is Kinda. Where is Dijamu? Oh, that's Dijamu. He does not look like he's happy.
I told your companions what I would tell you, stranger. That the Marmir may not receive you with open arms.
The relationship of those dwarves with men is strained. They blame some long ago war with the kingdom of Nisaka for that, claiming the men of that land tried to seize their minds. For all I know, that could be true, but that was centuries ago. What I do know is that I stopped first at the Kanag just over there, and one of the Temenir insulted me and waved me along. If the others of his people behave as he does, you might as well save yourselves the walking. They will just turn you away, whether were sent to them by a Shar, a Hull, or by any king or queen of men. All right. So talk to Kish. Oh, yes. Talk to this guy. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, what does Kishital have to say?
Dejamul may be right, but I hope to prove him wrong. Let us speak with this Temamir.
Let's speak with the Temenir that he mentioned as a Chanag nearby. The name of the Shara may open doors for us that remain closed to Dejamu. Alright, we'll have to see. We'll see who is right in this matter. I would presume that this is the dwarf we need to speak with. The Temenir dwarf, with thunderous in his eyes, shouts at you as you approach. Mm-hmm.
Move along. There is nothing for you here.
The sooner you return to the road and depart, the better it will be for all of you. Go now, and return not. Well, he is definitely not welcoming us with open arms, that's for sure.
This insult cannot be allowed to stand. How dare this dwarf speak so to the emissaries of renewed Hamat?
Shenzamin shakes with fury, but before drawing his blade, he draws a long, calming breath instead, visibly settling his rage. The insulting manner of this Temenir has no bearing upon our mission, Pine Leaf. He is not the leader of the Jiret Memesh, and he has no authority to treat with us. We speak with the voice of Sharamizadi. He rules only this Kanag, and perhaps not even that. We continue northward to Jiret Memesh. It will seem Dijamu was correct about the relationship between the dwarves and men in Ansharu. Alright, so we need to go to Jiret Memesh. And that means taking the north road. So we'll see how safe this road is. Well, at least it looks like it's obvious where the road is. I mean, there are some places in this area where that's not necessarily true. I was just about thinking that so far we've run into were a couple of jackals. Well, okay, and this Mordecai lookout. Thinking, well, there was nothing particularly dangerous or anything like that along the road. I mean, a couple of lizards there, but then rocks. And I'm not talking about the solid things on the sides of the road either. All right, we'll just bypass the rock and continue along our way. But it looks like there are a couple of dangers here because that bird looks almost big enough to swallow a hobbit whole. Well, maybe not quite, but it could certainly bite off my neck without any trouble. It appears that we've got ourselves a cave entrance? Well, it can't be a cave because I don't think a rock could live well in a cave. Oh yeah, it's aggressive. Maybe we should have introduced it to the friendly rock that we had in the shield isles. This one doesn't appear to be as friendly. Well, continue along the way through this canyon, cave, or whatever it is. Yeah, okay. Sort of a combination of the two. Oh, well, we will also have to deal with any Ortekai that are in the area. We don't want them interfering with our... No. What is the opinion of the dwarves of these? Maybe it's the Ortekai that soured relationships with them. And that they're just thinking I was with the Ortekai or something like this. Of course, there's always the possibility that the dwarves are working with the Ortekai and he didn't want me to figure it out by being nosy or anything like that. Whatever is the case, we will persevere and continue towards Jiret, whatever it is. Ah, there is Jiret Memesh. I'll just up the ramp. And all should be fine, right? Yeah, this is most definitely dwarven architecture. So well, that and the fact that the gate guard is a dwarf. Well, he didn't attack me. I think that's a good sign. Now, what would have been a good sign would have been one said that I needed to turn left as I came to the ramp. All right, let us head on up. Still not attacked yet. You have found the grand entrance to Jiret Memesh. Right. Well, they're not attacking me yet. I have found the ruling hall. Quite a large hall, of course, but then we are talking about dwarves, and they do make things quite sizable and impressive. Now, let's see if we can find the ruler. If fortune is with you, the ruler of Jiret Memesh will be more polite than Habati.
What do you need?
Shamelek Geta, the ruler of Jiret Memesh, listens as you introduce yourself, and the Hamati soldiers, Kishata and Shinzamin. I go on to relay the treatment at Khanag Valar, and the dwarf leader frowns. This dwarf, Habati, is not immediately known to me, but I have been most busy with affairs within Jiret Memesh itself. The operation of distant outposts on the surface I leave to others. I will hear the words of renewed Hamat, but it is customary for such dignitaries to lend some assistance when they arrive as a showing of good faith. Yep, they're definitely the mighty dwarves, that's for sure. Yes, I remember in Gondor where we had to do something similar. Do we have to go for the hunt or something? No. Two such problems currently trouble my people. An infestation of Gredvig and a host of worms. Does Hamat intend to help us with these matters? Something tells me that you intend that we intend to do so.
If this is the custom, we should see it done.
I have the choice. Leave the choice to you, Pineleaf. The Temenir wish for us to help them deal with either the Gridbig or the worms. We will help them with both of them. Yes, choose the thread with which you will deal, and Kishital and I will handle the other. That's way you don't have to worry about dragging us along when you go and do your side of the quest. Yes, each of these foes can be found outside of Jiret Memesh to the west and to the east. Alright, so to either to go east or west. Now the question is, how do I get from the road onto the path to where I can find the worms or the Gridbig? Right now, I get the impression that to the west here, no, to the east. To the east is where I'll need to go. Maybe I'll have a means to get there as soon as I finish going through this canyon, tunnel, or whatever it is. But it looks like the Ordok really are intent on spying on this place. Here we are just outside of the roadblock. And look who is watching the block. I have a feeling that because people are channeled through here, they find this as a good place to go and rob any merchants in the area or something like this. That's not good. Okay, I will take this road and hopefully it will leave east there eventually. Now, they did say Gredvig, right? Well, I noticed. Oh, you had to kill Gredvig at a particular location in order to get credit for the quest. Of course! Why would any Gredvig do? It appears that I did choose the right path. Oh well, at least until now. Ooh, fortune and salt here. Now, let's see. What do we got here? Down here. Oops-a-daisy. Oh, alright. Here we've got the worms. They seem to have... rock worms. Well, let's see how I can do on this. Vicious rockworm. Well, right now it's an... well, I was going to say stunned rockworm, but it woke up... New deed! Worm vein of Ansharu. Of course there will be a deed for this. Now the question is, this is another type of rockworm. Okay, that's two of them down. So it looks like vicious rockworm. I don't know, for some reason, it looks a lot like some salamanders I've seen before. Well, I suppose that just reinforces my feeling that salamanders are just renamed worms. And they have no relationship to real world salamanders. Then again, I think that most mythical salamanders seem to have absolutely nothing to do with the real world type, so why should I be surprised in that? There we go. I guess someone just thought that they appeared similar. But it looks like it will not take me... actually, I just need one more of these? Okay. And our partner in all this is automatically taking care of the bugs, I guess. So that means that, well, take care of an extra one. I'm sure she wouldn't be upset about my going a step beyond the original request. There. Now. Hold on. There's another part of this quest. Collect misplaced axes. Really? Misplaced axes. Well, maybe I should have paid attention that little bit before. Okay. Misplaced axe is up there. Hey, you're... yeah. Oh, there are actually two of them there. Oh, sorry to disturb your time together. And here you go. Now, let's go and find that. Definitely going a little bit beyond duty there. I didn't recall her asking for axes, but, well, I suppose that we'll just have to do it. And once we have a full set of 4, then we will be able to return to the Dwarven city. And maybe the leader will speak to us. And then we've got one more that we need. We also have another rockworm. Actually, that wasn't an axe that I just noticed. That seems to be a corpse. And I'll assume that that is in no way a dwarf axe that he had on him. So I will have to see. You guys insist on dying, right? There aren't coming any of you left around here after all this. And they get too aggressive against a stubborn hobbit. Being aggressive and tenacious against a stubborn hobbit is not a good way to have a good long life expectancy. Now, where were we? Oh yes, the final act. Really? Now, you can go away. Good. I can get on dry land. I don't want my armor to rust. Okay, good. Now, I see a misplaced axe around here. Ah, it's getting cooked. Well, maybe I'll just temper it. Well, that takes care of the axes. Now, yes, talk to Shamelek Yeta, the ruler of Jiret, Memesh, and that's what we're going to do in the next episode of the Song of Waves and Wind.